February of 1992, the state of Virginia announced there was only one winning ticket in the state's $27 million lottery, and folks, wasn't me.
Believe me, it wasn't me.
In fact, it wasn't anybody. Amazingly, it was 2,500 Australian investors who chipped in to create a lottery pool.
They didn't hope to win, wish to win, or even pray to win. They had a foolproof system. They knew they were going to win $27 million. And they did. Here's how.
They did it by beating the Virginia lottery with a perfectly legal system. First, the 2,500 Australian investors chipped in $4,000 per share to create a lottery fund called the ILF.
So let's play lotto. Our first number is...
Then they retained the services of Stefan Mandel, the winningest lottery player on Earth. His computer-driven system had already won $25 million around the world.
How does Mandel's system work?
Essentially, we covered every possible combination.
Mandel's seemingly simple system broke no existing laws. In fact, he won the Sydney lottery twice before Australia actually passed a law against the system. So the International Lottery Fund turned to the U.S. For a year and a half, they stalked Virginia. Why Virginia? First, the odds were better. You picked 6 out of only 44 numbers, while in other states, up to 54 numbers were on the lottery cards, which would add millions of combinations to be covered.
Also, Virginia had no laws against computer printing your own play slips. And most importantly, no law against buying as many slips as necessary to cover all the possible combinations.
There were no rules at the time that would prevent block buying. A person could buy as many tickets as they wanted. In reality, I really never would have imagined that anybody would have ever wanted to try to buy it out. It never happened in the United States, but the very idea of spending over $7 million to buy all the shares in the lottery just seems preposterous.
Preposterous? Stefan Mandel's gotten rich dealing in the preposterous. In this case, that meant buying 7.1 million possibilities at $1 a pop.
Theoretically, anybody can buy all the possible combinations. Any high school boy or girl can calculate those combinations. Nobody has ever developed a logistical system to lodge such a large amount of play slips.
So how do they do it in Virginia?
We use something like 20, 30 tons of paper, 30 computers, and about 12 laser printers, and there's about 16 people working there full time, so it's a major operation.
With the play slips pre-printed, a way to pay for them had to be designed that wouldn't involve truckloads of cash moving through Virginia. So how was that accomplished?
They were able to use cashier's checks, which they drew on the bank where they deposited the funds from Australia.
That meant the ILF could strike deals with chain store owners to purchase large blocks of tickets without cash. And how did the owners respond?
We thought they were nuts. We didn't believe that anyone could, in effect, corner the market on lottery tickets. But one of the things we do is sell lottery tickets. So if someone comes up and says they want to try to buy 700,000 lottery tickets, we're not going to chase them away.
Since Virginia had lottery drawings twice a week, the ILF would only have the 72 hours between drawings to process the play slips. They needed couriers who were good with numbers, so how'd they handle this problem? They hired dozens of accountants.
We told that we were going to be purchasing lump sum big blocks of lottery tickets, and until we got down there and actually saw what we were going to be doing, you couldn't fathom it, really.
Now the ILF planning was almost complete. They had targeted Virginia, pre-printed the play slips, cut deals with lottery sellers, and hired accountants to act as couriers. But there was still one piece of the puzzle missing. Virginia pays winners over 20 years, so the winnings would have to be big enough to make the $7 million investment worth the trouble. Their target was a prize of $27 million.
So let's play lotto. Our first number is... number 13. The ILF's man on the ground in Virginia was an athlete Alex, an oil man and former paratrooper. He took command of the military operation.
I flew in Sunday to alert my agents that there was a possibility if the lottery rolled on Wednesday, we'd have a go.
They told us to listen for the news the next morning, and I think it was 5 or 6 o'clock, and if there wasn't a winner, to get in your car and drive down to Norfolk.
On Wednesday, the jackpot, now at $15.9 million, went unclaimed again. The ILF decided it was now high enough to justify their investment. So they seized the moment and went for it.
It's showtime. That meant that everybody all over Virginia was heading towards the Kroger Center.
Number 19.
Kroger Center was a local business park that served as a command post for the operation. It sat smack in the middle of the playing field.
It gave us total access to all the stores. And that gave me a feel for where all the stores were, where we could place our agents, our runners.
15.
The plan worked. The courier's job of playing the lottery was going smoothly. For over 2 days, they were processing 100,000 tickets an hour, but to be foolproof, they had to be sure to purchase all the possibilities. They had covered about 6 million combinations when disaster struck.
There's 8.
First thing happened, we had part of a chain quit on us.
When the store quit selling their pre-printed slips, the ILF had only 90% of the combinations covered. All the computer brilliance, advanced planning, and last-second panic buying couldn't hide the fact that they could now lose big time.
11.
But at the end, the bottom line was, as anything that you deal in chance, it was luck.
And our last number is 20.
We had 5 guys looking through the boxes for the ticket. When the $27 million ticket come up, everybody was 6 feet off the ground. It was the most incredible thing in the world.
But while they sweated out the result in Virginia, back in Australia, the ILF mastermind, unaware of the million unpurchased tickets, remained calm.
We were the only winners, and that was it.
It's a testimony to their computer skills, to their mathematical skills, that they were able to pull this off. That doesn't change the fact that I hope they don't come back.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good? It gets even better. Those 2,500 people have actually won more than $27 million. How'd they do that?
The answer is the 3, 4, and 5 number combinations that the lottery offered also paid off. Don't spend that money in one place. We'll be right back.